Since Charlie Sheen's documentary is coming out in a few days, I want to deep dive all of Corey Feldman's allegations against Charlie Sheen when it comes to Corey Haim. Corey Feldman has been giving accusations about things that happened to him and Corey Haim for years, way before he came out with his documentary in 2020, where he finally named and alleged that Charlie Sheen was the one who abused Corey Haim. Now, in this documentary, Corey Feldman would get more detailed and he would allege that Corey Haim was abused on the set of Lucas by Charlie Sheen. The allegations that he puts in this documentary go farther than just Charlie Sheen, and we are about to get into all of it. Corey Haim wasn't the only one to allege this throughout this documentary. You also had a couple people that were close to Corey Haim that alleged that he told them the same thing, that he was abused on Lucas by Charlie Sheen. One of them, who was Corey Haim's childhood best friend, and also the manager of the two Coreys, had alleged that Corey Haim told him the same exact thing. Co-star on The Lost Boys, who said that he had heard this multiple different times. Even Corey Feldman's old assistant got on this documentary and said that this was something that was very well known and people would talk about it a lot. In the two Coreys, we saw Corey Haim getting very mad at Corey Feldman because he was alleging that basically Corey Feldman was behind the reason that he was abused. Over the years, Corey Feldman's mother also came out saying that she didn't believe that Charlie Sheen was the one that did abuse Corey Haim because Corey Haim told her a different name. And the man that she alleged and Corey Feldman's name was Dominic Braza. But Corey Feldman was alleging it wasn't just him, that there was a group of people that was abusing not only him, but also Corey Haim. Corey Feldman said in this documentary that when they grew up, Corey Feldman lived with this man because he believed that Corey Haim and him just had like a mutual relationship, even though Corey Haim was a child. And then Corey Feldman would allege that Corey Haim told him that he was disappointed in him, that he was living with Dominic because it was just so gross. And then Corey Feldman would end up cutting him off, and he said that he was really confused because at times he acted like they were friends and other times he said, "You're gross, you're 35, I'm younger." See, and this is where the story gets a little more interesting because after years of Corey Haim's passing, Dominic Braza would come out publicly and try to say that Charlie Sheen was the one that abused Corey Haim. Dominic Braza told the National Enquirer that Charlie Sheen abused Corey Haim when he was only 13 years old when they were filming Lucas. After Dominic Braza told this to the National Enquirer and was doing an interview, Charlie Sheen would then sue him and also the National Enquirer author who wrote this. But then after, Charlie Sheen would drop this whole lawsuit and not even move forward with it. If you remember, Corey Feldman for years said that it was a group of people that were moving in tandem, that were abusers in Hollywood. Another person that he named and alleged was abusing Corey Haim was Marty Weiss. Marty Weiss was like a talent manager for Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and other kids in the industry. And where you're most recently going to remember that name and remember learning about Marty Weiss was from Quiet on Set. Yes, Quiet on Set, where Drake Bell came out and said that he was the young minor years later that Brian Peck abused. And Marty Weiss was brought up in this documentary because he was a convicted pedophile and they alleged that he was working at Nickelodeon even after the fact. And Marty Weiss was charged in 2011 for abusing a child that was under the age of 14 years old. During this time of the investigation, this child at the time believed that there was more victims than just him because Marty Weiss managed a lot of big stars for Disney, Nickelodeon, and more that were younger. And then this is when I really start getting chills down my spine because Brian Peck, the man who abused Drake Bell, after he was convicted, would later go on to work with Charlie Sheen on anger management. So like all of these dots are connecting and it's like no joke because Brian Peck's charges against Drake Bell, I hope you know, were literally horrific and they are just like Marty Weiss. They are gross and they are under the age of 14 years old. At the time of originally getting arrested, both of them detail like using some type of substance on these children. And it's literally the same thing with another person that Corey Feldman came out and alleged who abused him. This man did not abuse Corey Haim like Corey Feldman said. This is only someone that abused him, but he was also a convicted offender. Corey Feldman said his name a lot back in the day and said that he told police this all the way back in 1993 when they were investigating Michael Jackson. And the police refuted it, saying, oh, we don't have anything. We don't have any report that he did this. And then a couple years later, they actually found it. Corey Feldman gave the name of Gruesome, but also the name Marty Weiss. At this point, it just makes you wonder, how were they allowing all of these PDF files to work around these children? I don't know, but y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.